my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. Hope all of you are doing well today. Doing pretty good here because I get to show you a nice new stitch, the 3D bump stitch. It is easy, it is quick, and it's just a 1-row repeat, and I love it so. Also, it is reversible, completely so. Looks the same on both sides. So whether you are doing a scarf, a wrap, a blanket, something for a little one to snuggle with, this is perfect. Absolutely gorgeous texture. And I'd done a 3D stitch a long time ago, and it had an incredible texture, but it was also a little bit lacy. This, has a nice solid appearance, and it has an awesome sauce texture. So, that being said, for today's example, I used, this was Red Heart Super Saver Ombre with a 6mm size J crochet hook. Going to be using the same hook and some more worsted weight yarn. This is, I believe, Pound of Love. And so, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Alrighty. Okie dokie, so first thing is first, the base chain. Now for this stitch, for the base chain, you are going to need a multiple of 4 chains. Right here I have 20, but you can do as many or as few as you want to, so the width is totally up to you. However, like always, I do suggest make a swatch first. That way you can determine how many multiples of 4 you would need for whatever size project you want, and you also get used to how the stitch works. Now, like I said, this is a weight of 4 and a 6mm size crochet hook. You can, of course, use whatever works best for you. This just works for me based on my tension and my gauge. You might want to go a little bit looser or a little bit tighter based on the drape that you're going for. That being said, it's good to swatch. So get your multiple of 4 chains ready to go, and we will get started. All right. Okay, beginning at the beginning with row 1. Now, row 1 is our foundation row, so it is going to be a little bit different, but row 2 is essentially, that is the repeat for the rest of your project. So after we get ourselves situated, it's easy street. This is one of those great stitches where you can completely go on autopilot, which is my preferred method of, being. So into the 4th chain from the hook, I'm going to work actually in the back bump. You could work in the back bump, or you could work in the top loop of the V, as I call it. Either or is acceptable. I'm going to work in the back bump. So into that 4th chain, I'm going to go in that back bump with 2 double crochets. Now, it's a little bit fiddly going into that back bump, but I think it looks a little bit nicer. So we got our 2 doubles in that 4th chain right there. And then scooting right along, footloose and fancy free, into the 4th chain. We're going to skip 3 chains into the 4th one, go in there with a single crochet stitch, anchor it down. There we are. And then chain up 1, and into that same stitch, 3 double crochets. So that same chain where we did our single, after chaining 1, 3 doubles. So that's 1, and that's 2, and 3, all into that same stitch right there. Then skipping 3 chains once again, 1, 2, 3, into that 4th, anchor it down with a single crochet stitch. Chain up 1, and again into that single crochet stitch, the chain where we did the single crochet, 3 doubles. That's 1 and 2 and 3. Skip 3 chains into the 4th, anchor it down with a single. Chain up 1 into that same chain where we did the single, 3 more doubles. That's 1 and 2 and 3. And at this point, I have only 4 chains left over, which that means I did this correctly. It's a good thing. So skipping 3 chains into that 4th chain, go into that 4th chain with a single. And that is, as they say, is that. And that is the end of our foundation row, row 1. Alrighty, let's press on. Okay, row 2, and this is our repeat row. I'm going to do this several times because I like being thorough and I like spending time with you guys. So, row 2, going to begin the row by chaining up 2 for our first double crochet. So 1 and 2. You want to go a little bit loose when you're doing those chains because we're going to have to work into that second chain at the end of the next row. So buyer beware, so to speak, right? So turn the work and then into that stitch where we did the single crochet, 2 double crochets right into that first stitch. So technically that chaining of 2 counts as our first double, so we've got our 3. Now right here we've got 1, 2, 3 doubles, and then we have our single with the chain 1 space. Around the post of the 3rd double, 1, 2, 3, we're going to do a single crochet around the front of the post. So we're not going to the top of the stitch up here. We're going around the post through the front there. Okay, and single crochet, and this is what gives the awesome sauce texture by doing that front post single crochet. Then chain up 1. Now, it helps if you sort of scooch your work a little bit. Right here was where we did the single crochet in the chain 1 space. This chain 1 space, we're going to work 3 doubles into that space. So right around here. That's 1 and 2 and 3. Easy as that. Then again, we have our 3 doubles around that 3rd double. Go around the post, a front post, single crochet, chain up 1, and then again, at least initially, it helps if you sort of scooch that double back a little bit so you can see that chain 1 space and go into that chain 1 space with 3 doubles. It does get easier with subsequent rows, trust me, because you'll have yourself a little bit more established. So we got our 3 doubles right there, and then we anchor this down with a single front post around the 3rd right there. So it's 1, 2, 3 around that post, front post single, chain up 1, and then into that chain space, right back in here, 3 doubles. It's 1, 2, and 3. Then, last but certainly not least, we need to anchor this cluster down by doing a single crochet into the top of this first double here. Now, you could technically just do a single crochet stitch in between these stitches. Honestly, I think it looks a lot neater if you just go into the top of that stitch underneath those 2 chains right there, those 2 loops, and do your single right into the top of that stitch. And that is the end of row 2. So you can already see it has this really cool texture going on, and that it looks the same on both sides, which is fabulous. So let's do a couple of repeat rows together. All right. Okay, so row 2 for the repeat. Going to again chain up 2, turn the work into that first single, 2 double crochet stitches, there we are. Around the 3rd double, front post single, anchor it down, chain up 1. Do not forget the chain up 1. You need that space to work into later. And then around the chain space, into there with 3 doubles. That's 1 and 2 and 3. Around the 3rd double, front post single, chain up 1, and then into that chain 1 space, 3 doubles. See, right now, because we already have a row established, it's a lot easier just sort of scooch that up, and you can get right into that chain 1 space a lot easier. That's how it is with most things. The first row is always sort of fiddly, finagly, and finicky, but once you get it going, it works up super duper easy. Okay, then around that 3rd double right underneath here, doing a front post single, chain up 1, 3 doubles in the chain space, there we go. And then we need to anchor this down by doing a single crochet into the top of this last double. So underneath both loops of the V right there, and anchor it down with a single. And there you are. It creates a nice straight edge. Let's do another row. Chain up 2, turn, 2 doubles in that first stitch, there we go. Just gotta pull out some more yarn. Excuse me for just a moment. Okay, so we have our 2 doubles in there. Front post single around the 3rd double, chain up 1, 3 doubles in that chain space, okay, front post single around the 3rd double, chain up 1, 3 doubles into the chain space, There we go. Front post single around the third double. Chain up 1, 3 doubles into the chain space. And last but certainly not least, anchor it down with a single crochet into the top of that last double crochet stitch. And there you go. One more. Chain up 2, turn the work, 2 doubles in the first stitch, front post single around the third double, chain up 1, 3 doubles in the chain 1 space, anchor it down with a front post single around the third double, chain up 1, 3 doubles in the chain space, front post single around the third double, chain up 1, pull out some more yarn. I wouldn't say this is a tremendous yarn hog by any means, because there isn't an exaggerated texture to it, but there is some texture to it. It's not quite like the basket weave, but you see where I'm going. At any rate, I did the chain 1. Now I need to do 3 doubles around that chain space there. There we go. It's 1 and 2 and 3. And then, of course, we need to anchor it down into the top of that last double with a single crochet. And there you are. So just keep repeating that row over and over and over again, and keep going until your piece is the size that you want it to be. Yeah. So there you are. Alrighty, my dears, so that is going to conclude today's video on the 3D bump stitch. Really hope that you liked it, and if you did, give a little thumbs up button down below. You know that I appreciate your appreciation. And as always, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments section, what are you going to do with this stitch? What sort of projects, what sort of colorways, what sort of yarns? I love hearing about your creative process, your creative journey, and how you plan on utilizing this stitch. What sorts of projects? Always curious. Personally, the thing that strikes me most would be a really cuddly, snuggly baby blanket, perhaps in some nice sort of pastel ombre colors. I just think that would be awesome. Yeah. So, at any rate, listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching today, and you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.